Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Tales from Under the Sea. Fishy holiday, come one, come all, in lake and pond, in rivers flowing and beyond. Little fishies come out and play, it's a splishy splashy day. Crystal steams and ocean deep, wake up fishies, do not sleep. All the fishies shout, hooray, it's a fishy holiday. That was a lovely poem, and now a fish out of water. One day, Flounder was busy with his friends when they began to talk about how far they had swum. Once I swam all the way to an underwater volcano, said Swishy. Oh, that's nothing, boasted Fantail. I do that all the time. Just yesterday I swam all the way to the coral reef and back, gloated Snorkel. One by one, the fish tried to top each other in tales of far-flung adventures. All except Flounder, that is. He was thinking how nice it was here in this little part of the sea with its familiar face, his fish friends, Ariel and her sisters, and even crusty old Sebastian. He really didn't want to travel anywhere very far away. He liked home. Before he could think of how to explain this to his friends, swoosh, he felt himself being scooped out of water and carried high above the sea. Flounder was in the beak of a big pelican. Hey, he shouted as loudly as he could. Put me down, put me down. But when he looked over the side of the pelican's beak, he was glad the bird was ignoring him. It looked like a long way down. Finally, the big bird flew down, and plop. Flounder was dropped into a little tidal pool. The waters felt so good on Flounder's scales that he splashed around happily for a few seconds while the pelican just watched him. Then he turned to the big bird and said, "What's the big idea?" But all the pelican said was, "I'm sorry if I inconvenienced you, but now I've got to find my babies." With a loud flap of her wings, she was back in the air, soaring higher and higher. "Take me home," yelled Flounder, but he knew the pelican couldn't hear him. What in the world does she want with me? Flounder wondered. He decided he would ask Scuttle what birds want with fish when he got back home. Swimming around the tidal pool was lonely and boring. Flounder was glad when he heard voices coming. When he looked up, he gasped. Humans! And the two little boys were looking right at Flounder. All Flounder could think about were the terrible things he had heard about humans from everyone under the sea. Everyone, of course, but Ariel. During the hours, Ariel and Flounder spent her grotto with all her man-made treasures. Ariel spoke to Flounder about her hopes and dreams about human beings. Flounder forced himself to think about things Ariel said. He smiled hopefully at the boys. "Let's take him with us," said one boy to the other. He leaned forward and scooped Flounder over his pail. Flounder tried not to be scared. He kept thinking that if Ariel liked humans, while they could not be all bad, he just wished he could go back home. "Time to go, boys." Flounder heard her voice call. Hooray, he thought, now the boys will put me back in the ocean. I'll swim back to my friends. But Flounder never heard the wonderful splash of his hitting the water. Instead, he felt a thud. The boys had emptied the pail right on the street, and now they were pushing him down the hole. "This is terrible," said Flounder. "How will I get back to the sea now?" Splash! Flounder opened his eyes. He was back in the water. It was a dark, narrow waterway, but it was water. "Oh, this is a good sign," sighed Flounder. He swam this way and that, looking for way back to the sea. He raised his head above the water to look around and found himself face to face with a little gray mouse. "Oh, please don't hurt me," he begged when he saw the mouse's sharp white teeth. "Calm down," said the mouse. "I'm not going to hurt you. I live down here." "Really?" said Flounder. "Do you know which way I should go to the sea?" "Go straight down this way and make a left. You know you're almost there when the water gets salty," the mouse said. Flounder thanked the mouse and swam off as quickly as he could. When he could taste and smell the salty water, he swam even faster. He was too excited to go home to even think he was tired. "Flounder, you're safe," Minnow cried when he saw his friend. "What happened? Where have you been?" Flounder told everyone the whole story. "Humans," said Swishy. "You were with humans. Land," said Fantail. "You're on land." They all looked at their friend with deep respect. All their long swims could not compare with Flounder's dangerous journey. "What a story this will make to tell your grandchildren," said Snorkel. Flounder just smiled. He wasn't sure he'd want to remember this day. It had been too full of adventure for his taste. He knew that one day he would be more than happy to tell his grandchildren about his friends and his adventures under the sea, where he belonged. But for right now, this tired little fish wanted a nice long nap. And that's the end of that story. See you later.